Okay, now we're down here looking at the tracks. These are self-adjusting tracks. The tension on them adjusts every time you activate the hydraulics, any function of the hydraulics. Some things that we look for on the tracks is track wear, check the conditions of the lugs, wear evenly across. One of the best ways to tell if our tracks are properly aligned is after we run down the road a couple of miles, take a non-contact thermometer and check a temperature on both sides of these drive lugs and make sure the temperature is close to the same on both sides. If there's a major difference in temperature, we want to adjust the tracks, loosen up these bolts and adjust this adjusting bolt. But the best way to do it is take a temperature after you've roaded the combine for a few miles. The other thing we want to check on our tracks is make sure all the rubber is in place on the bogie wheels and idler wheels. We have oil levels. These are see-through sight glasses in the bogie wheels and idler wheels, where you can just walk up to it and look and see the oil level. Make sure the oil level is correct. Make sure we don't see any oil dripped out on the belt after the combine's been parked for a while, indicating an oil leak somewhere. And that about wraps it up on the tracks.
We're here on our 30 series combine. This combine is equipped with wheels, and we want to talk about some tire and wheel maintenance. First thing is proper inflation. Look in your owner's manual versus what size head you're running and make sure we have proper inflation across all 4 tires so we pack the load evenly. Second thing we want to do, every day we want to walk around and we want to inspect our lug bolts, make sure we don't see any loose lugs, broken bolts, or anything like that. If we do, we need to get those fixed quickly. Sometimes we see cracks in our rim. You'll see it looks like rust running down the rim. That's another thing we want to inspect and look at. As far as tires, we want to look at our lugs. We want to look for stock damage to our tires. If we're having a lot of stock damage, we may want to look at putting stock stompers on our corn header to alleviate that damage. Now let's transition to the inside of the tire. We're looking in this area. We want to make sure we don't have any bolt breakage or stress cracks where the axle connects to the combine. Down low, we have a tie rod that ties the 2 final drives together. We want to make sure that the tie rod is intact and not broken. On the inside of the tire, we have the flanges where the final drive bolts up to the axle extension and the axle extension bolts to the combine mainframe. We want to look at that area and make sure we don't have any bolt breakage. Here at the rear axle, we also want to look at our lug bolts, make sure they maintain their torque. The main thing I want to look at is our tire wear here. As you can see, this tire is wearing uneven. What we need to do is we need to check our toe in. When our toe end's set correctly, we will not have the tire wear. Another thing you can see on the rear tires is stock damage. If we see stock damage on the front tires, we need to put stock stompers on our corn head to alleviate that. This winds up the wheels and tires portion of this video. Thank you.